Hey guys, so we're prepping for Nepal and we've got all our stuff ready there.
It's Poonam.
Hi.
It's Launa, the nurse. Here's like transport. Sydney Babu. We're Dokkar.
So on our way to Istanbul.
On May 4th, we got on the plane to travel to Kathmandu. Aside from a handful of international relief workers, volunteers, journalists, migrant Nepali workers fill the plane, there was a sense of nervous anticipation on the plane. I had mixed feelings.
Are here in Nepal. This is
Our team landed in Kathmandu in the early hours of 5th May 2015. Kathmandu felt different. Quiet, empty roads, collapsed and cracked buildings. I attended a few meetings. Then in the evening, our team headed to the trauma center in New Road. Patients were in dirty beds, few laying on blankets on the floors, doctors and volunteers working round the clock to provide the best care possible. The very next day, I caught a flight with Fishtail Air to a Tamang village in Thating, devastated by the earthquake. This also gave me the opportunity to assess the damage caused by the 7.8 earthquake from air in Kathmandu and the hills and villages in our route. Kapur village, our destination, was located in the far west of Kathmandu. About 45 families. Most of the houses were completely destroyed. The village lost 4 lives and livestock animals. We were able to take essential food items for the village to share until bigger help came to them.
45 houses. यहाँबाट मान्छेहरू पुरिएकोहरू सबै निकालिसक्नु भयो होला नि त है. So this is the damage the earthquake has done to Kapurgaon.
Hi UK, so right now I'm heading to Nepal. We're just waiting for some of our relief materials. Right now we're at Banifal.
For our first relief material distribution mission, we worked alongside a local charity called Human Nature Foundation Nepal. The journey to Sindhupalchok was devastating. Sindhupalchok suffered the maximum number of destruction and fatality. We traveled past rubbles, collapsed buildings, and families living in trampoline shelters. Our first stop was Tulabakar village, water number 5 in Sindhupalchok. We were able to provide 200 families food packs consisting of 30 kg rice sacks, 1 soap, 5 kg dal, 1 kg peas, 1 litre oil, and 1 kg salt to families in the village and the nearby villages. We were also able to serve the villagers with medical assistance for minor injuries and supply them with foil blankets, purification tablets, and slippers to the needy children and elderly.
भुइँचालो हुने बेलामा कहाँ हुनुहुन्थ्यो आमा?
त्यो गुरेनमा थियो
तल हुनुहुन्थ्यो. अनि भागेर घरमा आउनु भयो कि त्यतै?
त्यो ले कहाँ देख्नु या.
So we arrived at the village with our relief team this afternoon, and seeing her without any shoes just breaks my heart. I think before anything else she needs some shoes to check, because this is the kind of path that she'd be walking with bare feet. You can see a destructed, destroyed, damaged house behind me, which has been abandoned. A lot of the village houses haven't completely been destroyed, but they're not in a livable condition. There is about 700 people. They've had different organizations and different charity organizations bringing them aid.
The next morning, we felt the ground shake for the first time. It was a little bit scary, but nothing compared to what millions had to go through with the big one. We were on the road again, passing by badly damaged villages and little towns again. We wanted to distribute the remaining food packs to villages along the way. We ended up going to Maneshwar and Kadijor village in Sindhu Palchok and distributed the rest of the food packs. Then we headed back to Kathmandu. Kathmandu was slowly returning back to normal, and we were on the road again heading to Thangpal Thap village in Sindhu Palchok with 2 trucks full of food essentials and relief materials when the second big quake struck, causing widespread panic, dry landslides, more destruction and loss. The team was forced to leave our supplies behind with volunteers to guard them as roads ahead was blocked by the landslide. However, the team was determined to carry on. We packed medical supplies and started walking. It was getting dark and we were tired and scared from experiencing the major shake. En route to the village, another obstacle was waiting for us. The road was completely blocked off by a massive fresh landslide. Too scared to walk over it, we decided to hike straight up a steep, sharp hill, creating our own walking trail and holding onto the grass and each other for support. It was dark and terrifying, but we made it to the top at around 9 p.m.
Today, after a long journey last night walking uphill, I am waking up at Thangpal Thap village, which is all in rubble. So all the people from the village are taking shelter in what's left in the village school. There's a community toilet.
In the morning, our nurses were also able to provide the villagers primary care for open wounds, infection, and small injuries. We were also able to share and brief them about sanitation, cleanliness, and personal hygiene. Despite death, devastation, and despair all around, it was humbling to see residents still hopeful, kind, being generous, helping each other out, and providing food to the needy.
So basically we crossed that landslide area, slowly hiked our way up to the village.
I'm walking through Threepenny Bazaar in Sindhu Palchok, completely abandoned, and the buildings have collapsed into debris, as you can see. But this building is still standing.
While walking through the worst hit districts in the Baljok, I saw most people doing the best they could, building temporary shelters in time for the upcoming monsoon season. Every time we would set off to reach different villages affected by the quake, I was on the road again, this time traveling to Dholaka district where the epicenter of the second earthquake was located, passing by some beautiful locations with a refreshing breeze.
On our way to Dholaka.
Thanks to your kind donations, we focused our initial efforts on providing primary medical care, basic food supplies and relief materials to the worst hit areas. I traveled to Saleh village in Dholaka with members of Sukhawati Foundation Nepal to distribute traps and mats to the villages. Families were living under traps or tin sheets with several generations crammed together under one makeshift roof. Smiles lit up their faces with our little help. On May 24th, we headed to Sindhupalchok district again. The off-road narrow twisting roads always made the journey terrifying yet adventurous and exciting. Our destination this time was Batase village in Sindhupalchok to distribute relief materials and to initiate the first phase of rebuilding the community. After a tiring journey, we reached Batase Dada, a village socially divided based on caste. Our aim was to teach the local people how to build earthquake-resistant temporary shelters out of local materials like bamboo and using traps for roofs. The team with Sukhawati Foundation members started building temporary shelters for 13 Nepali families who were poor compared to their neighbors and were considered as Dalits, the untouchables, by the community.
अहिले तपाईहरुले यहाँ के गर्ने आयोजना छ यहाँ घर बनाउने घर कति जना मान्छेको लागि के मटेरियल युज गरेर तपाईहरुले के हो प्लान चाहिँ अब तपाईको 15 10 को 10 कोले बनाउने हो हजुर अनि मैले यहाँ बासहरु देखिछु हैन अनि तपाईहरुले यहीँको लोकल दाजुभाइहरुलाई पनि युज गर्नु भएको छ नि त हैन यो बासहरु चाहिँ अब फ्रेमवर्कको लागि हो हजुर अब तपाईले यहाँ सुरुमा चाहिँ अब हेभी लेभल गर्नुपर्छ यो के हेभी गाडा बनाउनु पर्छ गाडा अनि यो ठ्याक 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 फ्रेम बेम्बु हाल्यो हजुर माथिको लागि चाहिँ अहिले टेम्परेरीको लागि हजुर टेम्परेरीको लागि तपाईले प्लास्टिक युज गर्ने हो खास गरी यस्तो तरिकाले बनाउने कि पछि टिन पनि युज गर्ने भन्ने तरिकाले बनाउने अनि त्यही हो यहाँ एउटा यो गाउँमा चाहिँ 5 वटा बनाइन्छ यहाँ यो ठाउँमा चाहिँ 5 वटा बनाइन्छ यहाँ एउटा त्यहाँ दुईटा अनि त्यहाँ तलतिर छ
Working hard without complaining under the blazing Nepali sun, the team completed the 13 temporary shelters with the help of the locals. Then we focused our attention to the local school, which was badly damaged. Our team and the volunteers from the village dedicated a day to clear out the debris, while me and some of the other team members concentrated on children and women by running small classes and workshops about personal hygiene, sanitation, cleanliness, and recycling. We also distributed basic school materials for the students. This is a small effort made by our team and volunteers from the village to recreate a safe learning and educational environment for children to come back to as the schools were reopening. We built temporary shelter classrooms using bamboo and traps to use until permanent rebuilding starts. The children had so much energy. Every day I would find myself surrounded by children and young girls fighting to cling on to parts of my arms. I would be accessible to them all the time. At times I wanted to be left alone and enjoy the peace and beautiful surroundings without the children screaming, running around and asking me questions. The collect the litter game used to always work, with sweets as rewards for the ones who collected the most. The children were also very helpful and would lead me by the hand all around the village and would eagerly pitch in into the relief efforts by assisting me with my daily responsibilities. We continued our rebuilding efforts focusing on schools and took our project to Orvang village in Thaling district. It was a tiring 5 hours and 2 hours trek to the village. It was heartbreaking to learn that villagers had to walk 2 hours for the nearest water source. The families were very poor. Chepang community is one of the most neglected and disadvantaged community in Nepal. Children were malnourished and very unclean due to poverty and shortage of water. The local Chepang community were ever so helpful. They provided us with water during our stay at the village, and with the help of the cooperative villagers, our team successfully set up temporary classrooms for the kids. The appreciative Chepang community also threw us a farewell ceremony to show their gratefulness.
Namaste.
सबैलाई धन्यवाद छ
बनाउनेहरुलाई
Sukhawati Foundation also arrived at the village with food rations and stationery, school bags, clothes and new sandals for the children.
हामी दोलखाको एउटा तामाङ गाउँको स्कुल बनाउनको बाटोमा हिँड्दैछौँ अनि झिली पनि नजिकै छ.
It was time for the beautiful Dolaka again. After 11 hours on the road, we finally arrived at Sri Kalika Secondary School in Chipchipe. The secondary school was in need of quieter classrooms for the older students. We bought bamboos from the locals, and then the team used wiring and traps to complete the temporary shelter classrooms for the students. This was also the place where I first met Tika Dahalbaini, a courageous 16-year-old. Throughout my journey, I met remarkable people with their own story to share, but Tika Baini's story really touched me. She was only 16, talented, beautiful, and had to look after her 2 younger brothers all by herself. Her house was damaged by the earthquake and she had to walk 2 hours every day to reach her school in Chipchipe. We also distributed basic stationeries to the ever so talented children from the school. They recited some witty poetry for us. In the evening, we were invited to attend a Tamang wedding. This was our first time attending a traditional Tamang wedding feast. We enjoyed the food, amazing hospitality of the Tamangs, and danced the night away. Ramechhap was also one of the districts affected by the quake. We loaded our van with our essentials and we hit the road on the new BP Koirala highway. During my time in Nepal, I watched the seasons transition from blasting hot sun to hardcore rain. I traveled to different affected districts affected by the earthquake. However, the beautiful landscape, stunning natural beauty, and the beauty of human spirit continued to thrive. Our team were at the village to help 2 community-funded primary schools. Students from Deorali Ramechhap were forced to study outside under the burning Nepali sun after both the schools were damaged from the earthquake and declared unsafe.
हाम्रो 4 जना दाजुहरू खटिनु भएको छ यहाँ अस्थायी स्कुल बनाउनको लागि नानीहरू बाहिरै बस्नु परिरहेको छ किनभने उहाँहरूको स्कुल भत्केर भित्र सेफ छैन त्यसैले उहाँहरूले दाइहरूले यहाँ टेम्परेरी सेल्टर बनाउनको लागि आज गाउँलेहरूको मद्दतले गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ र सबै गाउँलेहरू आइदिनु भएकोमा मलाई धेरै धेरै खुसी लागिरहेको छ.
With the helping hand from the locals and parents, our team completed classroom huts for both the schools in our team's record-breaking time. I guess that is the true spirit of teamwork. We also distributed stationery to children at both schools. Hi everyone, so I am back from Nepal and I just wanted to say a big thank you to all the hardworking members in the team, and I also want to extend my gratitude to all the supporters from home. Your support meant that it motivated me to continue staying on in Nepal and trying to extend our tiny efforts to the earthquake victims on behalf of you guys. I also want to take this opportunity and say a big thank you to Human Nature Foundation Nepal and Sukhawati Foundation Nepal for helping me and guiding me. And the most important one, thank you to all the donors for donating so generously to the cause, which meant that I could take your help to the affected people in Nepal. Our long-term project is going to start after monsoon, and I want to urge you all to stay updated and informed through my Facebook. I'm going to update and keep you informed through my Facebook post of the actions and the plans of our long-term project. So please stay updated and informed, and thank you so much for watching. The journey was of course scary, but it was so rewarding. The smiles and the happiness that we saw along the way was just so much overwhelming, and thank you so much for this experience, and I hope you enjoyed watching all the videos and photos that we took along the way. Have a good day. Bye bye.